As you can see here, I've got a part that's made up of plates basically. So I'm going to go to the environments tab, and I'm going to launch the Nastran ENCAD. And what it's done is actually generated an idealization of solid, which makes sense. It's a solid model or a collection of solid models, so it's going to use solid. But these are all plates. So do I really need to analyze everything with the thickness and have to mesh it when I could extremely simplify it by switching to thin bodies? So what I'm going to do is from the Nastran tab, I'm going to click Find Thin Bodies. Now it says here that, you know what, it actually found them. Would you like to generate mid-surfaces? So what it's going to do is it's going to take that solid model and it's going to replace it with basically a surface. It's going to replace it with a surface generated along the midpoint of that object. So these are ideal for things like plate. So I'm going to click OK. It says, okay, here's the bodies that it found. So in this case, there's just the one body, but if this was an assembly of parts, it would list all the ones that were there. And what you can do is you can right click and you actually delete it. So maybe, there was 50 bodies in here and you want 2 of them you want to leave as the solid models, so the rest that you want to do. So that's what you can do here is you can actually select to deselect the ones you don't want to convert. So I'm going to click OK, and notice how it replaced everything with mid surfaces. And I can see underneath the part, here's the mid surfaces that it found. Now at any point what I can do is I can delete them. So if I change my mind and say, well, you know what, that's not really what I wanted, I can pick delete. Now it's going to give you some warnings about how things have been removed and things don't work right. But you have that ability to basically revert because you can't undo this. There's no undo on this. Once that you've run that command, notice that the undo is disabled, so you can't undo it. So it's actually a delete. You got to remove those surfaces, and Nastran will basically replace them back with the solid object. Now at the same time, what it did is it recognized, it says, hey, you're now introduced some mid surfaces. There was no shell idealization type. So what it's done is it's defined a new shell type for working with the mid surface. So what it did is it created a new shell element type. It's gone through and set a thickness that it basically retrieved from the model. Now in this case, they're all the same size, so we would possibly end up with multiple mid-surface thicknesses, and I can see all the faces that have been that it's been applied to. So I'll just cancel it because I'll accept it. So again, when you're working with a lot of objects that are basically thin in one direction, like plates, it's highly advantageous to use the thin body feature.